All right, we're going to talk about unlocking the power of your subconscious mind and really kind of try to break down how to reprogram it. I'm not going to get into depths on too much of the differences between the conscious and the subconscious mind. I've done lots of videos on those, but I really want you to become aware that your subconscious is the creator of everything. It is like Edward Scissorhands. When you have thoughts with enough feeling and they're impressed on your subconscious while you're sleeping, your subconscious is like cutting those pictures out and they will come to you, right? That's what your tomorrow and the next day and the next week and the next month looks like, right? We're not really aware when you have so many thoughts during the day, and that electrical energy is just, it's going like this, like windshield wipers. It's not intentionally focused on one thing. And so you're going from, yay, I'm at work and I'm doing this thing, to, oh, I got to drive home, to, oh, I need to go to the like worrying about this, or I need to do that, or I can't forget to do that. Like we're programmed and we're going through our life. And so we want to reprogram our subconscious mind. And I'm just obsessed with trying to understand the easiest way to do that so that I can give it to you the simplest form. So it's not this big, long, elaborate thing that makes you feel like it's too much for you to do, or you need to be smart, or you need to be, have money, or you need to go to these clinics, or you need to get someone to really mentor you. You can do all this stuff on your own. The problem with doing it on your own, though, it takes a long time, right? If you have any sort of money set aside, I would highly suggest you get someone who's really good at what you want to be good at and hire them. They will save you a decade of time, right? So really, to reprogram it, there's really three super simple steps, right? You can do a whole laundry list of things, but if you just do these three little simple steps every day consistently, right? Using the power of repetition. Like, to me, it's the eighth wonder of the world. I swear. When you grasp the magnitude of repetition, everything in your life, I believe, is from repetition. Nothing goes down into your subconscious without being repetitive with an emotional feeling. So I believe Neville Goddard was correct when he said feeling is the secret. And so learning how to have a really powerful emotion and feel amazing, or feel the end result already done on something that you really want, is not natural, right? Because we're living in this realm where most of us weren't born with money or massive opportunity, right? So we have a lot of old conditioning showing us that we're just another cog in the wheel, and it's extremely difficult to imagine having whatever it is you really desire because you don't have it now, right? So everyone's telling you, you got to just imagine that you have it and feel it, right? So I found that using the power of repetition takes a lot of that out, a lot of the guesswork out of that, and gives you direction and clarity, which is really what you need to reprogram your subconscious mind. So I'm going to say it again, and I know you guys are probably getting sick and tired of hearing it, but you got to get crystal clear. Everyone I've ever read or studied, from theologians to scientists to philosophers to quantum physics, it doesn't matter what it is. They all agree you can't, it's hard to do anything if you're not crystal clear on what it is you really want to do. And so just super simple, just writing down your goals every day. Make that a habit. Like we should be doing that every day, right? And not only is it just repetition, but it really helps you condense down to, I've been writing these goals down every day for a week or 2 weeks or whatever, and some of these aren't as exciting as I thought they were anymore, right? You're really starting to hyper focus on what's really important to you, and that's really all that matters. What's the most important thing to you? You could do anything in the world. What do you really want? My mentor used to always say, what do you really want? Not your spouse or your parent or your uncle or your cousin. I mean, when I really sat down and thought about that, I'd never asked myself that. I was at a job because my dad did that job. I was married because that's what people do. I had kids because you just have kids. Like, obviously there was more to it than that, but basically I was just doing what all my neighbors were doing, and I bought a house, and you know what I mean? Like, nothing was intentional really in my life for me personally. You might be a lot different. And just try to write your goals out and be specific, you know. You really wanna write the goals out, and then you really wanna take your time and read them slow and touch them and feel them, right? Send an electrical charge up your arm, up into your brain. And it flashes that picture on the screen of your mind, and it flashes it again. So it's the repetition, right? We can end everything with repetition. You can change your whole life if you adopt this law of repetition. That's why I created the new Paradigm 90-Day Challenge Journal. It takes all the guesswork out of everything. It's $20. It's extremely cheap. You do 4 of those a year. They're 90 days long. And to me, you don't have to buy my journal. You can get a pad and paper and do the exact same thing. That's totally fine. But I have specific questions set in there in a certain order to set your whole day in the morning off on an amazing vibration. So I know this one's not, there's mixed emotions on this, but for me personally, I just believe that affirmations are important. The difference between me telling you to do an affirmation and the way that I do affirmations, I don't do affirmations that I can't believe. I never say my bank account has $10 million in it. My bank account has $10 million in it. My bank account has $10 million in it, because I don't vibrate. It doesn't resonate with me. It's too big. You have to chunk it down. If you don't have any money in your savings account, you could say something like, I'm so happy and grateful now that I have $1,000 in my savings account. Start super small. $50, $100, $500, something believable, right? And then as you start moving along and you start, things start becoming attracted to you, you can start upping the amount. Or I am so happy and grateful now that I have an amazing relationship with this amazing person, right? Something that isn't so far-fetched that you don't resonate with it. It's really important to resonate with your affirmations. It makes them way funner and way easier to feel engaged in that affirmation, right? The next thing, the third step for me, and I know maybe you don't like to write, and I know I didn't in the beginning, but writing out affirmations. Like I said, this is why I created the journal, because I was doing it, and then after a year or two of doing it, I noticed I kept doing it the same way, and I kept putting things in the same order, and that's when the idea came to me, well, wow, I've created something here that I could package up that could help someone else, right? Questions systematically set up in a certain order to go through every day, and then at the end of the day, there's notes and thoughts in there, right? There's your 6 action steps in there. You get so far ahead when you start doing action steps every day, and if they're written down and you can look at them and check them off. I mean, an action step could be grateful all day. And every time you check in and you try to be present, we want to chunk this thing down to the minute in the beginning. We just want to start taking some action steps. And so being grateful every day, all day, in the beginning might just be you saying it 5 or 10 times in the morning. And then at lunchtime, you might stop and go, oh, I need to be grateful, right? And come back to the present moment. And then when you get home or on your drive home, you might say, hey, I'm going to show up to the house being grateful, right? Pretty soon it becomes a habit. So really, just to break this down, I just want this stuff to be super simple because I want you to take action on it, right? I don't want this to be this big, long, drawn out thing where it seems difficult and annoying. So step 1, get crystal clear on what you want. Write it out, refine it, write it out, ponder it, look at it, think about it. Tomorrow it might change a little bit. Change it, rewrite it. Start writing that thing out every day. The next is repeat positive affirmations. But I want you saying affirmations that you can resonate with and believe. You can see, even if it's not 100%, you can see how that could be possible. right? The third is going to be writing out affirmations. I am so happy and grateful now that I am in this amazing relationship with this lovely person, and it makes me happy and joyful, and we just connect perfectly, right? And you're writing your goals out every day, right? That's why I love the journal, because it's the same thing every day. You don't have to stop and think about, oh yeah, it needs to be gratitude, and then I need to do this, and then I need to, like, everything set up systematically. Every day is the same thing. So please like and subscribe if you find any of this valuable. I would appreciate it. And if someone you know is struggling, right? If you're wanting business or, advice on businesses, I mean, there's other people. If you want advice on personal development and self-mastery, that's what I'm obsessed with, right? But I need to know what you want so that I could craft something perfectly to help you specifically. So if you have a question, please ask. We created a free school 30-day little self-mastery class packed full of information, really cool. It's just simple little action steps to take every day, right? And please start reading if you don't read. I know reading can be a pain. Find some good books. If you want some suggestions, just ask. I know everyone's busy and I get it, but if you can read 10 pages of something amazing every day and keep reading that every day, your vocabulary gets better, your thinking gets better, you're learning, you're creating ideas, and you're using creative power, which is really what we want to get to. So appreciate it, guys. Thank you. Have a great day. Bye.